The Tragedy of Karbala, a complete historical account. 1. Historical background. After the death of Prophet Muhammad at the time of Islam, in 632 CE, the leadership of the Muslim community became a matter of deep political and spiritual conflict. The Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, Imam Ali Abi Talib, became the fourth caliph, but his rule faced internal resistance and conflicts, particularly with Muawiyah, the governor of Syria. First, Imam Ali was assassinated in 661 CE. His son Imam Hussain (AS) briefly took leadership, but later signed a peace treaty with Muawiyah to prevent bloodshed. One of the conditions of that treaty was that Muawiyah would not appoint a successor. However, upon Muawiyah's death in 680 CE, his son Yazid ibn Muawiyah took power, violating the agreement. Yazid's rule was marked by oppression, corruption, and moral decline. He demanded allegiance, bay'ah, from key figures in the Muslim world, including Imam Hussain ibn Ali, the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. Refusal of allegiance. Imam Hussain refused to pledge allegiance to Yazid, declaring that, "A person like me can never give allegiance to a person like Yazid." He saw Yazid's rule as a threat to Islam's core values of justice, piety, and truth. Fearing for his life in Medina and later in Mecca, and upon receiving thousands of letters from the people of Kufa, a city in present-day Iraq, who promised support, Imam Hussain decided to leave for Kufa with his family and a small group of loyal companions. The journey to Karbala. On his way to Kufa, Imam Hussein's caravan was intercepted by Yazid's army, led by Hur ibn Yazid al-Tamimi, who eventually redirected them to a dry, barren land called Karbala. Here on the 2nd of Muharram, 61 AH, 3rd October 680 CE, the Imam and his followers set up camp. Soon, Yazid's army surrounded them and cut off access to the Euphrates River, denying water to the Imam's camp, including women and children under the scorching desert sun. The days leading to Ashura. Over the next 8 days, Imam Hussain tried to negotiate and avoid bloodshed. He delivered powerful sermons, reminded the soldiers of his relationship with the Prophet, and invited them to reflect on justice and truth. Many in Yazid's army knew of Hussein's piety and lineage, but fear of punishment or desire for reward kept them loyal to Yazid. On the 9th of Muharram, the night of Ashura, Imam Hussain gave his companions the option to leave. He said, "Whoever stays with me will be martyred, and I release you from your allegiance. Go in the darkness of the night if you wish." But not one companion abandoned him. They pledged their lives to protect the family of the Prophet. The day of Ashura, 10th Muharram 61 AH. On the morning of Ashura, the brutal battle began. Imam Hussein's companions, though vastly outnumbered, about 72 against Yazid's army of thousands, fought valiantly. Each companion asked permission from the Imam to fight and was martyred one by one. Among those martyred were Ali Akbar, Hussein's 18-year-old son; Qasim ibn Hassan, young nephew; Habib ibn Mazahir, close companion of Imam Ali; Abbas ibn Ali, also known as Abul Fadl al-Abbas, Hussein's half-brother and standard-bearer, was martyred while trying to bring water to the thirsty children. Finally, only Imam Hussain remained. Weakened and wounded, he fought bravely, but was eventually surrounded. He gave a final speech, calling them back to humanity and faith, but they struck him mercilessly. He was martyred in the plains of Karbala, and his head was severed and sent to Yazid. Aftermath of the tragedy. After the massacre, the women and children of the Prophet's household, including Zainab bint Ali, sister of Hussein, and Imam Zainul Abidin AS, his ill son, were taken as prisoners and paraded from Karbala to Kufa, and then to Yazid's court in Damascus. Despite their suffering, Lady Zainab delivered powerful speeches in the courts of tyrants, exposing the truth and the cruelty of Yazid. Her bravery ensured the survival of Hussein's message. Significance of Karbala. The tragedy of Karbala is not just a historical event. It is a timeless lesson about standing up for justice, truth, and human dignity, even in the face of overwhelming oppression. Imam Hussein's sacrifice became a symbol for all oppressed people and inspired movements for justice throughout history. Every year, millions of Muslims, especially Shia, commemorate Ashura and the Arba'in, 40 days later, with mourning, processions, and reflections on Imam Hussein's stand for truth. Imam Hussein's message in his own words: "I did not rise to create mischief or to seek power. I only rose to reform the ummah of my grandfather. I want to enjoin good and forbid evil, and to follow the path of my father, Ali ibn Abi Talib."